Is this the infamous BCM that everybody's talking about that catches fire? Is this the voltage or battery regulator that causes so many problems on the R230 model? You see, I've removed all these things in the trunk. The liner is right there, and all of the major components have been removed except for this. This will be the very last item that I remove because it controls the voltage from the batteries to the systems in the vehicle. And so if I remove this, I don't think the car will start. So I will remove this because this is a valuable component in this car because it oftentimes fails. When you start getting that red battery light on your dash and you've changed out both batteries, the one in the trunk and also the starter battery in the hood, and you still get that red battery light, this is often the culprit. It's not your alternator. Normally it's not. It's usually this, because this controls the voltage from this battery, and also the battery, I believe, in the front. I believe so. I believe that it's connected to this as well. And so once this starts faulting out, and on the circuit board or PC level on the board itself, when it starts failing, components start failing, maybe it's a capacitor, a transistor, I don't know. But when it starts failing, then that's a problem. And it can cause a fire, actually. The trunk can start catching on fire. Now, sometimes it will smolder itself out because it lacks oxygen. Because these trunks do seal, when properly sealed and closed, it makes it very hard for this to continue to burn, for it to actually catch fire. It needs oxygen to catch fire, to flame up, or else it will eventually just smolder itself out due to starving of oxygen, right? Oxygen starvation. So the fire itself will go out. But a slow burn, it can cause a lot of damage back here. I've seen a lot of people's interior burn up. And like I said, they're fortunate if it doesn't catch fire, if it just smolders itself out. But if it catches the necessary oxygen, it will light up and your trunk will catch fire. This right here is very flammable. That lining is very flammable. All right, it's a synthetic material mixed with plastics and a bunch of crap that burns at a high rate, like at a high temperature. And so if that catches, oh man, you're in trouble. But again, it needs that oxygen to continue to burn. So sometimes you get that smell in your house. If you park in the garage, you get that smell, you get some smoke, you don't know where it's coming from. If you park your R230, your SL in the garage, double check and make sure that this is in good shape. Now, to get access to it, you do have to remove that lining, which is not easy. You can pull it back from here, because like when I do these coilovers, I'll pull it back and you can access like about this far. You really have to do some maneuvering to pull it back far enough to get access to this. But I'm telling you guys, if you ever get that smell, double check this right here. If you ever get that red, consistent red battery light on your dash, check this right here. Again, there's two batteries. It's one in the trunk and one in the hood. And if you replace those, and if your voltage regulator, meaning your alternator, is good, then this right here likely is the issue. You can check online. You can check videos and pictures of these SLs on fire or burnt up because of a failing BCM. What does BCM stand for? Let me think. Battery control module is what I believe it stands for. All right. So double check that. Again, that's the number right there. I will be removing that before I get rid of this car. I'm going to just strip it off of, strip everything that I want off of it. You see, I got this driver's side tail light. I'm about to remove this passenger tail light. The exhaust tips. I'm stripping this thing down. The mufflers are already removed, and the catalytic converters might be in there. I don't know, but I know that they removed the mufflers. We'll see how far I go with it, but that type of stuff that's valuable, I gotta pull out of here. It's just what it is. There will be some stuff left over. If nothing else, the motor and the transmission is worth something. Even though this thing has over 200,000 miles, it shifts perfect, and the engine is good. There's no leaks, so that's good. I mean, these motors are what they are. M113s are excellent motors. These motors last in these Mercedes. This right here is a hybrid of the M113. It's the M113K, which is the compressor supercharged edition, hand built with bigger pistons and other things that allow it to have and create more horsepower. But those motors in general, those motors are incredible. So that is something that's valuable on this car still. If you need a new motor or you need components or parts of the motor or transmission, this right here is still a good buy. Otherwise, if nobody buys it, I'll probably throw it on like Facebook or Craigslist or something for real cheap once I pull it onto the street. And then once I do that, I mean, when I say cheap, probably like $1,000 or something. Somebody can just come in and tow this thing away, and they can get a motor, transmission, and whatever else is left over. But I tell you what, it won't have this. Yeah. I got to take it, guys. It is what it is, man. It has a lot of value. I might need it for my SL, you know, or just I might sell it. I don't know, but it has a lot of value. This right here, this component right here has more value than the car. You know, for what these cars sell for in these rough conditions, what, $2,000-$3,000? That's about what this is worth. All right, something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep stripping this thing down, man. That's what I'm doing. Having fun doing it because I get to know this car a little bit more. You get to know it intimately because I'm in here, you know, disassembling, and I know what's what now. It allows me to identify certain components that are important and vital to the proper operation and functionality of the SL500. Yeah, I like that. Anyways, all right, more content on the way. I just wanted to show you guys that. There's always some stuff in here I didn't know existed because I never had to pull this back as far. But yeah, I got to pull that, let me see, the amp out of there, the radio head unit, whatever. I'm not going to pull the shifter out. I'm going to leave that alone because I still have to be able to shift it out of gear and back it out of here and park it on the street. That's when I'm pulling this out. Once I get it on the street, it's just going to get towed away, pulled away. Let me see. It's going to have to be drug on there because you're not going to be able to start it. Maybe I'll keep it in neutral. But you can manually put it in neutral even with the key not in the ignition. You know how to do that? We got to bang onto the shifter and it will pop down into neutral. You got to bang it with a mallet and pull it down at the same time. Pull it towards the rear at the same time and it will drop into neutral. You won't damage it that way. Let's see. The radio. Yeah. Yep. I got more work to do, guys. More stripping. Yeah. Did you know that you can't sell these airbags on eBay? It's against regulation or whatever. It's against the law, I guess, to sell these on eBay, even if you have a good working one, because it's used. It's supposed to be like a safety thing that you cannot sell airbags on eBay. That's jacked up. I don't know how I'm sure there's a workaround, but that's what they say. So I might just throw that somewhere else to be able to make it available to those who need to replace their airbags. But yeah, it's a safety thing, whatever. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know? There's not much science behind an airbag. If it's never been activated, then it's still good. If it's been activated, of course, it's worthless. But, you know, it is what it is. These right here, how do you remove these safely? Oftentimes when people remove these, they break. But this is a good one, and this is a good one. It's not faded yet. Oftentimes you get these ones that are faded. These are in perfect condition, so I gotta figure out how to remove those. The trunk itself, I already took all this stuff out, the guts. I guess I can remove that. These are worth something. A lot of stuff is up there. Yeah. All right, let me get back to work. I got things to do. All right, I'll be in touch, guys. I have actually another SL that's coming in from out of town. So I have to get this thing out of the garage. So I got to finish stripping it and park it on the street. I got to make some room. I got coilover jobs to get back to. It's still wintertime here in Cincinnati, but the weather's decent. Right now it's going to be up to 49 degrees, which is good for wintertime in Cincinnati for February. But it's going to drop again in temperature down to the 30s. So let me use this day to, to the best I can to get some things accomplished. I'll probably save a lot of these little plugs because some people need these plugs because they're hard to get. So I'll probably cut all those off Yep. I hope I didn't remove so much that the car won't start. I know I got to jump start it, but because that battery's dead. Well, the battery up front, that's the one I jumped, not this one. The one in the front is the one that I need to jump. But yeah, I'm gonna back this thing out to the garage and then be cool. I removed the Silvers Neomax that were on here, and I put the strut master from another vehicle that I had done a conversion on. I removed strut master and installed Silvers on that vehicle, so I took the strut masters and put them on this. Whew. All right, that's just to enable it to sit up high, so it can be put onto a trailer or whatever, a tow truck. Without the front bumper dragging. Oh, I got to remove that front bumper also because I got to remove those headlights. So yeah, this car is going to be stripped down for real. Anybody need a motor transmission, let me know. But if you need certain components that I am removing to resell, let me know. All right, guys, this is Brandon Green. Go to Autoworks. Let me get back to work. I keep saying that. Let me actually do it. Hey, guys, did you know that on Mercedes models, this is a lot of Mercedes models. I don't know which models do not have this, but I've come across more Mercedes that have this feature than not. Did you know that Mercedes runs a coolant line through your windshield washer reservoir? That's what this is right here. They did this back in the 80s and 90s, and currently they do this. Why would they run coolant lines through your windshield washer reservoir? Because it warms up the windshield washer fluid. It prevents cold windshield washer fluid from being sprayed on your cold windshield. Now, that applies in the wintertime only, of course, but maybe it has some kind of effect also in the summer when it's trying to break through the bugs and the whatever, the stuff that, lands on the windshield, when it needs a little bit of help, when it needs a little bit of heat. Yes, this warms your windshield washer fluid. And I say primarily, it only makes sense that it's for the wintertime when you have ice on your windshield. Yes, you can use warm windshield washer fluid to decrease the ice or melt the ice so that you can then see and drive safely. That is only a feature that I've seen on Mercedes. I've never seen that on any other vehicle. Now, I might be wrong. I'm just telling you what I've seen. I've only seen that on Mercedes. That right there tells me that Mercedes is always thinking. That's the pump right there. It's a coolant pump. Now, I think it pressurizes fluid. I think it's fed from the radiator, maybe, but it doesn't matter. It's coolant in there that is hot. Maybe it's before it gets to the radiator, which it then cools down. So while it's hot, it flows right through here, through your windshield washer reservoir. That is genius. Genius. Only Mercedes, baby. Only Mercedes. Okay, so getting deep into this car has really opened my eyes to a whole lot. Removing the center console, because don't forget, in my personal SL500, I have to swap out the head unit and install an aftermarket amplifier and a subwoofer, a new head unit. So I have to really get involved in my own personal vehicle almost as much as I'm getting involved in this one regarding the interior. Now, I did, of course, remove some things that I'm going to sell, such as the door panels and all types of stuff. I mean, look at this pile of stuff right here. This is crazy, right? But something that has been exposed that I need to be very familiar with is the roll bar, which is right here. Now, this goes up and down when you open and close your convertible top. But the issue that I'm having on my personal SL500 down there is that when I activate the roll bar, you can hear a leak. It's a noticeable moan, loud noise that occurs, and I'm losing fluid somewhere. And it's not coming from the typical area like from the headliner, but I believe that it's coming from here because the whole operation of the convertible top works flawlessly except the roll bar. Well, guess what? I now see here the hydraulic ram that operates the roll bar, and you can access it by removing this panel. To remove this panel, you have to remove this back panel first, and that's easy. It's just a couple screws, like this panel right here. It's just a couple screws on the sides. Remove that first, And then these panels just have a screw right here that holds it. It's hard to see now, but how is this one? This is this side. So turned this way. There's one screw right here that holds it. And then it remove this trim piece right here, and then it allows it to pop free. Once you remove that, you have access to this ram. Now, this right here might be where my leak is coming from. This one right here. Because as it goes, you can hear and it struggles to go up and down. And my leak is coming from somewhere. And I think it's either coming from this side or that side. Now that's good to know, because I don't see any fluid, but I definitely know it's leaking because I'm losing fluid. So I need to access this on my personal SL500 and see if it's leaking right there. That's easy to do now. I am so happy that I have chosen to disassemble this raggedy, horrible condition SL500. Yeah, I mean, this thing is stripped down, man. I am going to leave the catalytic converters and the, I guess the resonators. I don't want to send these wheels off with the car. These came off of an S500 that I had, a 2005 S500. It's a nice stock wheel. The tires are like winter tires, and they're kind of low on tread, but they're still good wheels and tires. But I mean, how do I roll this thing out of here without wheels? You know, maybe I should just leave it on blocks or on bricks, you know, like they used to do back in the day when they used to carjack you, you know, take your wheels and leave it on bricks or or something. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyhow, and then I'm going to leave, of course, the motor and transmission. I'm leaving the battery connected for now with this BCM. But when I get it on the road, on the street for it to get picked up, I will remove that because that's a lot of value right there. And it works. But this right here, though, like I said, it exposes what I need to see in order to fix my personal SL500. So I'm happy about that. So let me get back to work. I got a whole lot of stripping to do. See, what I'm doing now is I'm getting access to the amplifier back there. And I am going to remove the amp. And also, I already got the head unit out, as you can see. I also have to get, I think there's a subwoofer up under here. Pull that out too. So this is me learning the audio system by stripping this one down. And, you know, I used to have a 2002 CL500, and I stripped that down, you know, more than this. I took the seats, I took everything out of that car. I stripped it down to absolutely nothing. And that's how I learned so much about these CLs, the W215 or C215 models, by stripping down and taking apart the one that I had that I used for parts. I bought it a long time ago. That's a CL600 up there. I bought it a long time ago for $800. It was the Zinio interior, had that brown, nice interior, and I totally disassembled that car and gave it away, basically. I let somebody come and just yank it out the garage. And I used that interior, that brown or that mocha interior for my, I had another 2002 CL500. If you go to my page, you'll see that yellow CL500. I painted that yellow myself, and I did that interior myself. I swapped out the dingy black interior. It was dingy because it just had some tears and wear to it. I pulled that black interior out, put that mocha interior in there, and it was beautiful. Of course, I painted it. Unique wheels, you know. I think I did Strutmaster on that, and that's how I learned that Strutmaster sucks, is by installing that system on that CL500. But now, of course, you know, I go with Yellow Speed for the CL500 and Silver's NeoMax for this car. Now, Silver's NeoMax also offers a coilover setup for the CL500. I have that coming, and I will experiment and install that on one of my CLs. See, I have another CL500 on the other side of that white car in somebody else's driveway. I have an S55 in that driveway, and then I have the CL600 up there. So I'll probably put the Silver's NeoMax suspension on that other CL500. That's a 2002. And we'll see how that suspension works out. I'm going to compare that to the Yellow Speed Racing that is on my wide body. So, yeah, guys, I am in here deep, you know, and I am getting some work in here. Now, I'm going to leave these seats because, well, the seats have some tears in them in the front. I don't know what to do with those seats, man. I have another set of Dismantling seats that are in perfect condition in storage. I'm going to sell those to somebody. I don't know. If you need some Dismantling seats, black, perfect condition, let me know. These right here, should I pull them out? I mean, it's just the seat that has tears. I don't know, whatever. It's just the cushion, I think. Or maybe the lumbar, I don't know. But anyways, this is a speaker, I think. Might pull that out too while I'm at it. Yeah, man, I'm tearing this thing up. This is so much fun, guys. I wish you were here. All right, guys, let me get busy. Got more work to do. So here goes the stripped down, butt naked 2002 Mercedes SL500. There's nothing left to this vehicle other than bones, motor and transmission. It did run. It ran enough for me to drive it out the garage and pull it, in front of the house so it could be towed. But I left the car in neutral, and I took the batteries out and also the BCM. Now the EIS, I still have to pull that out. It's already popped out of place, but it's just hanging inside where the radio console is. But I need to remove that before it gets towed away. But I have it in this form because I removed everything that I needed from it. And so this is all that's left. So whoever decides to buy this car as is only buying it for the motor, transmission, catalytic converter, muffler, exhaust system. Mufflers are removed, but you still have the resonators and the catalytic converters, the headers, so it's good for that. It is a good running car. I mean, the motor runs and the transmission shifts. It has 220 something thousand miles. So believe it or not, there's still life left because it had no leaks. It actually ran good, but it was just beat up condition. So if you want it, here it is. Let's look at the inside real quick. Goodness, there is absolutely nothing left. I even took the glass out of the side doors. You still have this little glass right here that comes up in the corner. Isn't this crazy? It does have the Alcantara sway-like headliners. That's about it. I'll take everything out of here. I mean, there's a few little odds and ends, but if you want these seats, it has little tears right there. It is Designo interior. So it does have, it did have some nice Alcantara accessories. You have carpet that's still good. It's just really, it's a shell at this point. But believe it or not, somebody could use these parts. The wheels are good, tires hold pressure. Like I said, that motor and transmission, anything associated with the engine compartment is all good. The fuel tank, the fuel pump, steering wheel, shoot. Before I removed the BCM and the batteries, it started up and it drove. I drove it here with no problem. So you got a good motor, good transmission. So there you go. Look what we have here. Somebody is buying the shell 2003 Mercedes SL500. Now, I kept saying 2002, but it's actually 2003 on the title. I had to double check that. When I first got it, I said 2003. Then I started saying 2002. Whatever. Somebody called me out on that and said, you don't even know what year it is. Shut up. Anyways, here we go. So yeah, somebody's buying it. I'm giving it away for next to nothing because The transmission is still good, motor's still good, but it's been gutted out. The exhaust system is good minus the mufflers, but everything is here or not there. But it's still a running car.
Convertible.
Okay.
That only had 28,000 miles on it.
That's low miles.
1961.
1961. How long did you own it?
Since I was 13.
Dang. So what made you?